Okay, everything looked good. Everything looks good. Excellent. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone today? It is Adventure Thursday. It is also the first day of Preptober. So, lots of fun things to do. We're going to wait for DM Stretch to come in on a raid, and then we'll get started. I think the first thing I'm going to do today is crank out a few of the potential character sheets for my Halloween adventure, which I've got players for now. Now we still have to figure out a schedule, a date, and a time. And those players are going to have to pick their actual player characters, but in order for them to do that, I need to get them into the system. So I'll be working on a bit of that today. Like I said, we'll wait a couple of minutes. This is the kind of stuff I need to eventually get around to trimming off before I put the VODs up. Where are we? Let's see. I still need 2 followers to hit my goal of 100. So 2 new followers would be nice. Subscribers would be nice too. Oh, this waiting stuff can be boring. Oh, but I have a first person showing up. Either that or that's an auto host. Can't tell. Isaac, are you actually out there yet? Or are you waiting for the raid? I'm guessing you're waiting for the raid. And that's just your auto host catching up. But we should be on soon. Oh, Isaac was waiting for the raid, but you are here. You're in 2 places at once. Excellent. That's always fun. Yeah, I like to wait. When I know a raid is coming in, I like to kind of hold off a little before getting really started. That way I don't have to repeat myself. So I'm going to be doing some... Here comes the raid. There it is. I knew it was due. Who do we have? We have Danny Adventures. Varangi is the first Varangian through the gate. Isaac, thank you very much for the resub. Archior, welcome. I don't recognize your name. If you're new, you get a special welcome. And if you'd like, don't forget to hit a follow on this channel. I'm just too short of my target of 100, so you can get me halfway closer. Who else do we have? We have Erin. Good morning and welcome. Tillers, good afternoon and welcome. It is adventure. Ah, there we go. Correction. I am 1 away. Yes, I am. Thank you very much for the follow. So, oh, and look at that. My subscriber numbers went up too. Somebody else snuck in a subscription. Who was that? Danny. Thank you very, very much. There we go. It's good all of that information hides up there somewhere. Okay, let's get started. Today is Adventure Thursday. It is also the first day of Preptober for those of you that are NaNoWriMo folks. Um, what I like to do on Thursdays is I like to focus on actual adventure-related stuff. For those of you who are new, that would basically be Archior, I guess. Um, I am building my world in World Anvil as a base for an RPG campaign, or actually for hopefully for multiple RPG campaigns. Um, it is primarily, well, the world itself is system agnostic, but the campaigns that I'm working on are Pathfinder Second Edition. I have a Halloween event coming up that will be scheduled for sometime in the week before Halloween, where I will actually be streaming a one-shot of other of various. It looks like it's going to be all Anvilite streamers. We're all going to get together and do a one-shot of a first level introductory adventure in that world, and I'm up to 4 players. I can go with 4. DM Stretch says, yeah, he's one of the 4. At the moment, I've got DM Stretch, Moonflower Rider, E-Songbird, and Scribe of Nakoti. I can take another 1 or 2 if anybody's interested. You know what? I should actually put my. I'll put a link in the chat here for anybody who is interested. I will, if there's extra people, by the way, I will, if it looks like I'm quote unquote filled, still put your name in if you're interested, because once I start talking with people about scheduling and timing, if there are people that have to drop out because it just doesn't work for them, then I'll go down the list. Let's see, we want to copy that and paste it here. So if anybody's interested, you can take a look at the invitation there, and if you are interested, just stick a comment on the end of that article, and we'll see if we can get you in. What I'm actually going to do, as far as since it is a one-shot, and I'm not going to have people spend an awful lot of time, especially people not familiar with Pathfinder 2. Not, I don't want you to have to spend a ton of time learning and going through and picking up rule books and all that sort of stuff. So I am going to have 15 pre-generated characters, and I'm stealing those 15 right from my 3 existing playtest groups. I'm just basically genericizing their character sheets. The only thing you'll need to come up with for your particular character, if you're one of the players, is I will let you name the character however you'd like, and I'm also eliminating any original gender selection so if you want to, so you can make your own choices on gender as well. But there will be 15 characters. They will cover the 6 basic races in Pathfinder. We're not going into any of the advanced player stuff for those who know the system and who know the very recent publications. They also cover all of the different possible classes. Not necessarily every one of the subclasses, but at least the general classes are covered. So there should be enough variety in the 15 to cover everything. Delian, welcome. Good afternoon. So what's going on? I'm just explaining the Halloween Pathfinder 2nd Edition one-shot that I'm going to be hosting sometime in the week before Halloween. Till there's male and female gnomes, and then variants of them in 3 sizes. Aaron, I got another subscription. Thank you very much. Subscriptions get nice big blasts on the screen. Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today is cranking through getting a few more of these character sheets in place so that I can start talking to my players, because like I said, I have enough to get started. I'm still taking a couple more. Delian, for your benefit, in case you're interested, I'm going to throw this up because you probably missed it. But there's the invitation. By the way, this is also in the Anvilite Streamer Core channel on the World Anvil Discord. I was going to put it up in one of the general channel chats if I didn't get any responses by today. But like I said, I've got four. Four is probably, I mean, from the standpoint of setting up the stream, four is probably plenty. From the standpoint of playing the one shot, anywhere between 4 and 6 would be fine. I don't think I want to get more than 6. I actually have the thing built for. This is an adventure that I've run my playtest groups through, and my 3 playtest groups are sized with 4, 5, and 6 players in them. So I know how to handle any of those group sizes. I'm all ready to go on those group sizes. So I'm going to try to stick it in that region. But we are going to, like I said, I am going to stream the one shot, so that should be fun for everybody involved, and hopefully for anybody that wants to watch and wants to learn a little about Pathfinder and learn a little about how us role players, if you're a writer and not an RPGer, if you want to see how we role players roll, you can get a feel for that too. All right, so let's get started. Like I said, it is Preptober. I know a few people were writing, and I know DM was doing sprints, and before that, writer Greg was doing sprints. So I will keep up the whole sprint cycle. I find it takes me just about 10 minutes to get one of these character sheets in, so it works perfectly for me too. So without further ado, unless anybody has any questions or comments, we will fire up the first sprint of the day and we will get started. I will wait a minute or two because believe me, I understand how lag works on Pathfinder on Twitch. I'm usually a victim of it. But if I don't see anything in a few seconds, then we will fire up the first sprint. And by the way, one other quick announcement. For those of you who like to play with the channel points, if you hit caffeinate for me today, while I would appreciate it greatly, I will not comply. This is not because I'm off coffee or anything like that. It's because I've actually completed I've finished my morning 24 ounces of coffee, so I don't have anything to caffeinate with right now. So we're down to just hydrating when the need arises. And without further ado, no further caffeine? Yeah, I'm sure I'll have another cup later on today, but I guess, like I said, I just finished a double cup. I don't need another one right now, so I try to limit myself to, like I said, a 24-ounce thermos in the morning, and then maybe another cup in the afternoon, depending on how I feel. When I say cup, I mean 12-ounce. Almost a good size one there too. Well, look, everybody's going to go with the hydrates now. Okay, we'll do that. I'll even throw in a free posture check. How's that? Okay. So let us get started with sprint number 1. We'll see how much water I can drink until I need a coffee. No, we're not going to play that game. But I will take one more. One more quick sip. Wet the whistle. All right, let's get started on sprint number 1. This is a 10-minute sprint, and it will start in 3, 2, 1, and go. challenge the system with that one. We'll see. Oh, and time is up on the sprint. Time is up on the sprint, so we'll see how we go. How do people do on the sprint? Is there anybody that's actually out there sprinting? Like I said, I'm going to be challenging the sheet system on this one. So Tillers, this isn't one of your sheets, so you're off the hook today. What am I doing? I'm doing Alchemist Fire. Which is a D8. Sorry. 1d8 plus 1 splash plus 1 persistent. I gotta look back at that. I think that acid flask was a mistake. It was a mistaken acid flask. Damage. What do they have in here? I'm going to have to look that one up. I'm not going to kill myself on that right now. But the damage is not 1d8 plus 1. It's relatively small. I recall that. But I'll look that up in a minute. So did anybody sprint? Let's see. Danny, you almost 100. Slow moving this morning. DM just having a post-stream chill out. That's good. 84 for Delian. Well, it's 84 words more than you had before. So I tell you what, let us launch right into another sprint. It's been a couple minutes. If anybody has any questions, by the way, about what I'm doing or what these, how these rules work, pardon me just a second. The allergies are horrible today. Okay. Tillers is doing some more custom sheet building. That's always fun. Staying away from CSS for a bit. Yeah, you know what's funny? The first few things that you do are generally easy and you get to see great results, and then you want to start tweaking it. So, you know, you start doing these minor adjustments, and that's where the killer comes, you know, and all of a sudden everything is broken, and then you got to go back to where you were, and you can't find your error. I am gonna, you know, so believe me, I commiserate, DM. Okay, it's been a few minutes. I need to put an in-between sprint timer in here so that I don't launch these in too quickly. But it's been a few minutes, and that sprint was actually up for a little bit of time before I started, so you are going to see me do a quick lookup of what the acid splash damage is supposed to be, just so I get it right in here. You know what? Actually, before I do that, I want to see what this looks like, and then I'll get back to finishing it. I have found a couple of bugs in the Pathfinder 2nd Edition character sheet. Since this is primarily a sheet that, the bugs I've found anyway were calculation bugs, so Dimmy has to fix those, so I have to put those in with the bug report. And I haven't gotten around to that. Oh, it actually, all right, this actually looks pretty good. It has the rolls for the strikes, the correct rolls. And it put in the various damages. I was hoping these would show up as clickable. That might be a formatting problem on my part, because I know they are building in like dice rolling capabilities. Maybe it comes in when I run it in the campaign mode and not just on the screen visibility mode. But it is showing the additional splash damage and persistent damage information the way I like, so that's good. All right, Pat, we survived that test. Like I said, there are a couple of other little bugs and issues with this sheet. For those of you who use it, I will tell you what they are. Armor class calculation is not currently putting in your dexterity bonus. So the armor class calculations are incorrect. But like I said, that's a JavaScript thing, and only Dimmy can fix that. And the other problem we haven't seen yet, but when we get down to the I don't have any in here yet, but when we get to feats, when I create feats, there's an ability to actually import oh, is there a question mark on that too, Tillers? Oh, the colon. Did I miss a colon? Yes, I did miss colons. All right, let's see if that fixes that. Let's check that real quick. Attack tables. Put a colon there, and a colon there, and a colon there, and a colon there, and one there, one there, and one there. Let's just test that much. Yes, how about that? There it is. Now we have little buttons to push. And we get a dice roll. How about that? Oh, that looks good too. And again, these will look different when they're in the campaign mode because I'm using the dark background. And in campaign mode, that has its own background. So, for example, there's headers here that aren't appearing, that will appear. Oh, that looks good. All right, I'm happy with that. I have to go back and fix all the other character sheets now, though. Thank you very much for that, Tillers. It's always good to have... That's why you hate those lists. Yeah, well, the problem with the lists on feats, if it's a single entry... Here, let me show you. I'll show you what the problem is. But like I said, I'm not sure it's... and this sheet is... I don't think it's yours to fix. But let me... jump to... Stat blocks... PCs... which one was it? Was it Osric? I think it was Osric. Who's not called Osric anymore. But under feats and abilities... Okay, no, it wasn't Osric. So if it wasn't Osric, then it was... the Rogue. Alright, now I'm confused. Maybe it was the fighter. I strip these out. Oh, the problem was one of these actually has two entries in, I think, 2 general feats. And while there's when there's 1 feat listed, yeah, it will be this one. I just don't know. I don't have them all in here. When there's 1 feat listed, it works just fine. Here, let me do this. Let me bring up that. Oh, that one's not in this group. As soon as I put in the double, so let me just do it for an example. I'll just copy this one again. As soon as I do that, what'll happen is now when I come to feats and abilities, you'll see the heading comes up, so it knows there's something there, but it doesn't display either feat. So there's something to do with the parsing of the multi-list that needs to be fixed on that, and I don't know if it's just under general or if it's under all of the areas that problem happens. But and I believe it does still happen if I save this and go to view sheet. Yeah, again, this is just the free form list, but if I come over here again, you'll see, it gives me a blank area. So there's something wrong with the parsing of that. So those are the 2 bugs that I've come up with so far. I've tried removing the spaces. That doesn't help it. Let me try it one more time just to make sure I'm not misremembering. There's no spaces on either side. Okay. Nope, still not there. So it's something to do with the parsing or running through the list there. But I guess I'm not going to kill myself on that. The good news is that they've actually provided 2 ways to do them. All right, you'll notice that I have a list of all of the feats here. All right, so I at least can record what feats I have to worry about, and then I can go back and make sure that, first of all, that all those feats are defined, because those are separate stat blocks. So I have a way, I have a way to keep going, doing what I'm doing now, which is good enough for the moment. All right, let me just get back to where we were. PCs, that's not where I want to be. I want to be in the one that I'm working on. And now we will launch back into where was I working on? I was working in attack tables. So I will have to clean up those attack tables. I'm going to look up the damage for Alchemist Fire. And then I am going to finish this guy up. But before we do that, we will start another sprint for those of you who are sprinting. And that sprint will begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. doors worked right. There should be 2. There is only 1. Okay. See how the parsing does here. That's better. Are they correct? Let's forget how this is supposed to work. Let's see. Let's go right here. Now what's it doing? Where did those 5s come from? Oh, is it doing that? Am I finally about to figure out how this works? And the time is up on the sprint. The time is up on the sprint. So, how did everybody do? Post your numbers while you watch me fighting with this skill thing. What about if these are 2s? To indicate trained. That's better, but there's still, the breakdowns are wrong. The numbers, the totals are correct, but the breakdowns are wrong. I still have to figure out what these are doing. And it's supposed to look like 3s here and 4s here. I don't know where the 2s are coming from. Oh, I do know where the 2s are coming from. Okay. Now I know it. Now I think I can fix this. Let's see if we can make this work. There's no real explanation for what to do in these things. But I think if I do it this way, I think the first number is the attribute bonus, and the second number is a number indicative of the training level. And if that's the case, then I should see 3s and 4s there now with a 7 total. And I do. Perfect. Okay. So the the explanatory help under that field just shows an example with two numbers in it. It doesn't say what the numbers are. But now it is correct, and it is consistent with everything else. So I think that's as much as I can do here. This player doesn't have any spellcasting ability, but they don't need it because they have all their alchemy. Those all look good, and they're correct now. I have to see why these are 7s in the. Oh, I know why these are 7s, because they get a bonus from the mutagen. Okay, so that one looks good. All right, so I got this character sheet done. 4 down, 11 to go. Any of you who are players, if you see anything that looks interesting, let me know. DM is back. Let's see. We had 155 words from DLE, and you see that you double your number almost. Danny, 102. DM Stretch is back. Makara wants me to drink some water. I'll do that in a second. Welcome. You were thinking today would be a constructive work day, and then you had to focus on pushing a small hotfix through the process with annoying idle time. Yeah, I've got a miserable day planned too, actually. After the stream, which is the high point of my day, I have and I'll be taking a brief break when Janet streams today. I missed my Janet fix last week. Did anybody else miss their Janet fix last week? I've got a day of real-world catch-up stuff that has to get done today that I got started on yesterday. I was hoping to get through yesterday. Yeah, I know there was no Janet last week. That's what I mean. Did anybody miss their weekly dose of Janet? I saw a post. I saw a post from her earlier, though. She's absolutely going to be back. I think today. I think she had the whole week of lists. Yeah. I think her post said that she had things for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we'll get them all. We'll get back to normal. Okay, so all right, I got through that guy. Just so you can see what I'm doing. Where I'm working from, you don't see it, but what I'm working from is the Roll20 character sheets that my players have put together. We can see all of the different bits and pieces here. This is the Roll20 version of the character sheet. Is this one another one that didn't give me any backstory, so I'll have to create a minimum one. So basically I'm transposing those all into World Anvil. And this is actually going to serve two purposes, because not only will I be using these for the one-off that I'm doing, but eventually, and I might have to wait a little bit, because I know Dimmy, one of the things Dimmy's working on in the super secret, coming soon, one of these days, upgrades for campaigns, is the ability to copy NPCs or have NPCs in a generic pool and then move them in and out of campaigns. And have multiple copies of them in different campaigns without having to actually recreate them. Right now, when I create one of these, I create it into a campaign, and if I want to run it in more than one campaign, I literally have to create a whole separate one. Eventually, I'm actually going to be moving all my player groups off of Roll20 and onto Foundry VTT, but I'm not ready quite to do that yet. But anything I do here, getting these character sheets set up, will help everybody in the long run. So I have a dual purpose in getting this done. Okay, we all just watched me do a Goblin Alchemist. Who is next up? Oops, I didn't want to do. Oh yeah, okay. You know what? There's my my cat tax for the day. That's our 13 going on 14-year-old cat named Fido. And yes, that's a dog's name, and that's because he barks, he doesn't meow. He also doesn't come anywhere near my office, so I can't pick him up and show him live on screen. What do I want to do? I want to bring up the next character. And the next character is going to be a halfling druid. So this one will be a fun one. So let me get that one ready to go. Come back over here. Again, we're doing a character sheet from Pathfinder 2. And if everybody's ready for long live screen sharing, Makara says. If everybody is ready for another sprint, we will fire one up and set it going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Would help if I hit the right button. I wonder. No. Time is up on the sprint. How did everybody do? Wait for a few numbers to come in. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Anybody with sprint numbers? Yes, no. Delian was mostly just messing with BB code on that one. Yeah, I guess BB code generates words, but they don't count. Makaro trying to recover from work stress, exhausted. Good luck with that. DM was going to send my players the campaign public page, but now you can't as it's all wrong. Ooh, that's not good. Makara won't write anything until after the deploy in 1 hour. Oh, alright. So, I'm almost done with this sheet. It's interesting, it's taking me about 12 to 15 minutes per sheet to get done. Pardon me. And like I said, I have 15 of these all together to do, and I have to go back and do a little cleanup on the other ones. So maybe I'll go back and do the cleanup on the explanation above. Yeah, I saw some of that up there. Did I miss a bit? You did your manager was late. You showed people a video of the rats in the pirate ship. I saw something about yeah, you had a hot fix that had to get done. I think we talked about that. Okay. Let's see. Where am I? I need to finish inventory and spells. Spells for a druid are going to be interesting. Because I really can't put the list of every spell down. But they do have a focus spell that I can get in. In Pathfinder, the cleric and the druid have the ability to cast. They only get a certain number of spells per day. But in the morning when they do their preparations, they have to decide exactly what spells they're going to have ready for that day. But they have at their disposal every spell in the spell list for their class and level. So I don't know that I'm going to. I mean, eventually I'll have to. But when I get to the spellbook section of this, I mean, for now I could just list the spells freeform. But eventually, and this is where the I don't know if it works here or not. But in theory, I'm going to have to list every one of the spells available in level 1, and there's about 18 or 19 of them. So I mean, I will have to eventually make sure they all exist in the system. I will have to, but hopefully, I have no idea what it's going to actually look like when I put them out on the sheet. Maybe I will experiment with that with 1 or 2 of them, just to see how things go. And I have to do 5 cantrips too. Why does she have 6 cantrips? She can't have 6 cantrips. I don't think she can have 6 cantrips. I don't think anybody can have 6 cantrips. But she's got 6 cantrips. I've got to do a little hunting and digging on this character sheet. Okay. We have a focus spell. We have regular spells. 5. Oh, I know why. Because, again, each morning she can choose which 5 she wants. She's not limited, so I'm assuming that she changed cantrips at one point and just added the 6th one. But she can only have 5 live at any one time. Does this sheet include that information, by the way? I mean, it tells me I can put that as wisdom. I know this is divine. No, this is not divine. This is primal, because this is a druid. Trained and trained. Yes, there are spell slots. And those I don't have to worry about yet. Okay. Like I said, first thing I'm gonna do is just list them here, and then I'll worry about going back and seeing that they exist in the system. Good, I can copy and paste from here. That will be a little helpful. Will be enough for me to play around with these a little bit. Okay, let us get back to here and get ready with that. And we will fire off yet another sprint. And yeah, we're ready to go. Okay. So those of you who are sprinting, get ready. And we are going in 3, 2, 1, and go. keep doing that. And unfortunately, it creates debris. Changes to this. Sprint time. Almost done. And time is up on the sprint. Am I doing something wrong with this? That should just be a block link, right? That was the article ID, right? Or did I copy a block link by mistake? Let's see. That's what I had, 531754. If I view it, that's fine. If I view the Halfling Druid, though, don't get anything special for the spellbook for having the link posted. I think I was expecting another tab up here, like it does with feats when you have feats described. But I don't see anything. Let's see, I wonder, is the heal spell described? Nobody's defined heal yet. How interesting. That's surprising. Nobody's gotten around to a heal spell yet. With all the clerics and everybody else running around. That's surprising. So how did people do on the sprint? Come on, guys, you know the drill. Post your numbers after the sprint is over. I can't give you positive reinforcement if I don't have any numbers to reinforce. Delian, another 113 words. Good, good. So what are you working on, by the way, Delian? I know yesterday you were starting to look at what you were going to set up for Nano. Are you doing cleanup work for other things, or is this setting up for Nano, or you don't want to be stealing your Nano word count too early? Let's see, Macaro read 4 novel chapters. Okay. 4 chapters in 10 minutes. I assume they were short chapters. Either that or you're a speed reader. In either case, congratulations. Is Danny still out there? How did Danny do today? Danny, by the way, if you are still out there, I hope you're feeling better. I know you've been a little off lately. Aaron, I haven't heard from you since the beginning of the sprint either. I don't know what you're working on. I don't know if this is the beginning of your day or the end of yesterday for you either. Sleep schedules get a little strange on the West Coast. I blame it on the West Coast. Who else is still floating around? Let's see. Okay, Isaac snuck off. I see. Aaron seems to have snuck off. Sable looks like they're on, but we'll see. There were a couple other names I don't recognize. They might be bots. They might be people. If you're people and you're out there and I haven't talked to you, introduce yourself. Yeah, Sable might be an auto host. I'm not sure. That's the problem. You can't tell with the users in chat displays, because they include, well, besides including the various bots that sneak their way in, the chat bots that sneak their way in anyway, that you can't do anything about, like good old Commander Root and electrical. What's the other one I have here? Yeah, electrical longboard. But there's another couple of names here I don't recognize that may or may not be chatbots, or maybe real people. And some of those real people, again, might be auto hosts. I can't tell. But that's okay. I have a couple people to talk to, and that's all that really matters. That's the fun part about doing this. Okay, nobody has put in a heal spell. I am surprised at that. What spells have been put in so far? I have a feeling by the time I'm done, I'm going to end up being responsible for putting in stupid amounts of the stuff that's in here for Pathfinder 2. I know there's a few of us working on it. Oh, I have to go back and put in tags for all of these guys because they were mine. And I notice I'm missing the tags. I was kind of waiting to see what people would do with the tags. Some of those are a little carried away, but it's a combination. The tags are a combination of the traits of the spells and what people are using them for, apparently. Which is not a bad thing, I guess. Can always add to them as we need to. But I'm going to need to put in a whole bunch of spells to get these things caught up to date. But we'll get to that. That'll be another time. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's get back to where we were. As far as I can tell, that stat block is essentially finished. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. Who's next? I want to do that. I want to do that. Bubblebone is actually not a character. Bubblebone is the familiar of the one we just did. Now we have a halfling bard to do. Can't slide it off the screen until I detach it. Okay, let's see how far along the way I can go with a halfling bard. Get back to here. We're going to create a new character sheet. We're going to start one more sprint. This will be our last sprint of the day, by the way. And we're going to start it in 3, 2, 1, and go. time is up on the sprint. I need to get myself a sound that I can hear on that sprint. Let me just finish this weapon entry, because it'll finish the category. Roll 1d6 minus 1. Bludgeoning. Got a typo in there. And this is what? Propulsive. Which is why it's got the -1. Okay. Takes care of the sling. The dagger I already got. And it takes care of that. I'm going to finish this one up real quick because I'm not going to start another sprint. So let me just get this guy done. Languages. Orcish. Feats and abilities. So what are people planning on doing later on for the rest of the day? At least until 2 o'clock. When we'll all be watching World Anvil, of course. Or Ancestry 1. Assurance. Yeah, that's a varying skill. I'll have to remember what they took that for. Assurance is a funny feat. That's the only ones there, and it looks like something's missing. They transcribed, the players transcribed their Roll20 sheets from Excel spreadsheets. So I have a feeling some of them did not transfer everything over. Another one without anything worthwhile there. This is a bard. I'll deal with the spells later. I'll finish this one up later on. Let me E, PC, Halfling, Bard, unfinished. Save the changes on that. World, stat blocks, PCs. I'm going to add unfinished to the Halfling Druid too, because there was a few odds and ends that needed to be done. Whoops, that needed to be done there. I can take that off later. Okay. Delian, 147 more words. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay. So what do folks have lined up for the rest of the day? Who am I going to be raiding, by the way? Let's see. Toblin is on. Excellent. That is who we will be raiding in a few minutes then. So what are folks working on? What do we have doing? Delian, how's the new map commission going? well, I hope, and you're also working on that super secret map that you keep talking about but won't show us because you know, well, because it's a super secret, I guess. Tillers, you're working on more sheets. What sheets are you working on now? If Tillers is still out there. Yeah, Dillian can't show the map because it's a surprise for whoever. Yeah, a secret. But you talk about it a lot. That's cool. Gets up the anticipation for everybody. Will we ever be able to see it? That's the main question. Do we just have to wait until the intended recipient gets to see it first? Oh, it'll be on World Anvil on a World. Excellent. Excellent. So, everybody else is awful quiet out there. Makaro, you are recovering from work. You said you're going to get a little writing done, I guess, later on. Um, who else is out there and active? Not many. Currently deploying to production. Yeah, you had mentioned that earlier. You're going to get through the deploy, and then you'll be done work for the day. So then you'll be done real life work. I'm just going to be starting. I'm going to finish up this sprint, grab something to eat, unwind for a few minutes. That'll probably be just in time for the. Then I have to start doing my real world catch up stuff, and somewhere along the way, I will tune into the World Anvil stream. And who knows what this evening will bring. I will probably be tied up with real life stuff for most of the rest of the day. Which sucks, but I gotta do it sooner or later. So, okay. We are starting to wind down. Let's see, is Toblin actually up yet? Or is he still coming soon? I see the rat cage. Is the rat cage live? If the rat cage is live, we might go over to it. Of course, I won't know until I get to watch my ad. But fortunately, it's a short one. Okay. Well, if that's a live picture... Oh, he just came on. Excellent. He came on promptly at 12 o'clock. Well, 12 o'clock my time. Whatever the top of the hour is your time, I guess. Okay, so let's wrap this up and throw it over to Toblin. Toblin. Anybody know how he pronounces his name? Is it Toblin or Toblin? I'll find out one of these days. All right, so everybody, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for attending yet another sprint. I will be back on, or another stream. I will be back on Sunday. Sunday is mapping day, and again, these maps are all they all have something to do with certainly with World Anvil. What I might be working on Sunday is finishing up the Dungeon Fog battle map for the inn, where all of these characters that you saw today will be gathering and meeting. And I actually do have some other maps. That's the only one I can do that one on screen. I can't do a lot of the other stuff that's going to be involved in the one shot because spoilers. But I can get the generic in map done, which I've started, but I have to do some finishing touches on. But that'll keep us busy for a session, I'm sure. So again, thank you everybody for coming. We'll thank once again Isaac Tom, Danny Adventures, and Aaron Ree for subscriptions today. And I will thank Archior for following the channel. Those all happened early, but they happened, and that's what matters. I thank everybody else for coming. And oh yeah, I keep forgetting this. I should bring this up earlier. Before we go, everybody dip into the channel points and choose an emote, and you want to find the emote that looks like this. Like that. And my raid call is that emote with the word evolve. So that's our raid yell. Let us get started on that raid. I hope everybody has had a chance to grab the emote. You got 10 more seconds to do so. And thank you all for coming. See you on Sunday.